in Sault Ste. Marie, and it was downtown. I was living with my daughter, and I had a lot of overnight guests during this time.
Tammy and her friends began fooling around with the spirit board.
I don't even remember where we got it from, but we started out with just a regular board that you can buy. I was always interested in that kind of thing, and it intrigued me. I wanted to know if it worked. There were 4 of us that played on a regular basis. But I didn't realize how serious it could become. We thought it was just a game. It started out with just dead grandparents, things like that. We wanted more out of it, so we started asking for things like Elvis, and graduated from there to asking for the devil. If it was dead, we asked for it.
Tammy asked for it all right. Soon enough, the group began to get more than messages.
It was giving us yes and no answers to our questions, and from there it just kept telling us a story. And as we got into it more, we started taking notes so that we could, keep track of what was being told.
Who are you?
We asked for, the certain spirit to come in.
What do you want from us?
You would see the candles going out. Or making weird smoke patterns, I guess. I was scared, yes. That was when I didn't understand what was going on. Everything seemed to just be different in the air, and it's not so much that you could see it, it was the fact that you could feel where it was. We would hear a lot of knocking noises. We would hear growls continuously.
And her friends had been using a spirit board to speak with the dead. But when the dead started talking back, they should have ended the conversation.
We would hear a lot of knocking noises. We would hear growls continuously. I just could feel my skin crawl and my hair stand on the back of my neck. The shadow figures were there pretty much nightly. They would come and go, at least 1, sometimes 2 or 3, and they were huge. It wasn't necessarily a human form. We would all be sitting at the table and there's nobody else in the apartment with us except the baby in the crib way in the other room. But this figure would move where we knew we weren't moving, so that we knew that we weren't making it. At first, it was non-belief that we were seeing the shadow figures. Everybody was kind of looking at each other, looking for an explanation. The excitement was really high, but it was also very fearful.
In the wrong hands, the spirit board can bring up anything you don't want. When you have a negative entity that comes through and you have an open invitation to that negative entity, that's who's going to come through, and not always a loved one.
The paranormal activity was taking a toll.
Once we were done playing the spirit board, I had to go back to my regular life for the next few hours, and it was very hard to ignore the fact that there was all this activity going on in the home that I was living in. But my obsession took over. We weren't into drugs or alcohol. This was our obsession. This was our addiction. There was one particular night, and it's still unbelievable. My friend that was playing with us, she was sleeping on the floor. And she started dreaming and flailing around. We were trying to wake her up, and she started literally talking in what I believe to be tongues. At least 10, maybe even 15 minutes it took for her to finally come around. And when she woke up, her eyes were bloodshot, and she didn't remember anything about the dream or us trying to wake her up. I really thought that she may have been possessed at some point. It definitely scared all of us.
Once you have opened that door with the spirit board, there can be a lot of horrible consequences. The spirits can become dangerous, and there are even many cases of possession as a result. Using a spirit board is just inviting all kinds of trouble you do not need.
Still, Tammy and her friends couldn't resist using the spirit board, and it was just a matter of time before their hobby came back to haunt them.
We were looking in the window, or out the window, and you could see them outside. Two different spirits were dueling, I guess you could say. It's still unbelievable when I talk about it. It was very frightening. We couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. It was one thing to see them in the apartment, but to know that they can go outside actually scared me even more.
Tammy was afraid they had gone too far. But demons turned out to be the least of Tammy's problems. Evil forces started to take over the thing most precious to her.
Billy?
friend's obsession with the spirit board had invited paranormal entities into her home. One night, Tammy woke up to find her daughter Billy acting strangely.
Billy?
I went to go into her crib to lift her up, and her eyes scared the living daylights out of me.
Everything okay?
Knowing that as a mother, I'm supposed to be picking her up and taking care of her, but I'm so afraid by the look on her face and how she was staring at me with black eyes. It was very scary to know that something else could control me as a mother, where I didn't feel like I could protect her. Knowing that we were playing with such evil things, I was very worried that something would happen to her. I do believe that we released something, but the story needs to be told because there's other people out there that are just as young and innocent and maybe stupid, if you want to call it, as we were. I'm hoping that through me they can learn the lesson.
The next morning, Tammy moved out and cut all ties with the group.
Though we all live in the same city, none of us talk anymore. We don't want to have anything to do with each other anymore.
She vowed never to touch a spirit board again, and the paranormal activity came to an end.
If you're going to do it, have great respect. Don't play with it.